Well, number one, how does stress help you? Stress is a weapon, right? Stress is a motivator. Stress and anxiety is for your benefit. It was given to you to keep you alive. Okay. Stress is supposed to keep you alive. It's supposed to keep you, honestly, in a state of growth. Stress is given to us for a reason. Okay. Anyone who wants to live this life where they want to be stress free, honestly, a stress free life is a miserable life. I don't care what anyone says. A stress free life is a life of misery. Because in order to know joy, you must also know sorrow. In order to know happiness, you must have also first experienced pain. In order for there to be, light, there also has to be darkness. There must be opposition in all things. Okay. So when someone says, "Oh, I'm so stressed," I say, "Good. You're supposed to be stressed." Stress is a privilege. Stress and anxiety is an honor. Okay, it is bestowed upon you, and only the most successful and the greatest among us carry the most stress. If you have a lot of stress, it's a good thing. It is for your development. And if you see it that way, then you'll actually understand that you are becoming greater. You're not supposed to run from the stress. You're supposed to run into the stress. You're supposed to dive in deeper into that feeling to not run away from it. Every time you want to run away from stress, you become weaker. Every time you avoid stress and anxiety and try to avoid these things, you become weaker. Every time you attack stress and you go straight at it, the stress and anxiety, you stare it down the barrel and you attack it, you become stronger. Why? Because you have overcome something. You will probably realize that whatever was causing your stress and anxiety, honestly, was more in your mind than it actually was something to be concerned about. Most of us experience stress and anxiety because we procrastinate. We procrastinate so many things, and procrastination is the root of disbelief in oneself. It is the root of lack of confidence. If you're confident and you know how to get something done, you don't procrastinate. If I could tell you right now, I sat down and said, "Okay, you're stressed about money." Would you be stressed about money if you knew how to make money? No, you wouldn't. You would just go do the thing that you know and are confident in that's going to make you money. And once you have these skill sets, once you have that and you develop confidence in the ability to actually make money, you lose the stress of not having enough money because you know where it's going to come from. People who experience stress experience it because they're not confident in that area. If you want to experience something, go try jujitsu or some martial art, something you've never tried before. You are going to be stressed. When some big motherfucker's punching you right in the face and you're thinking about 10 different things and you don't know what to do, it's stressful. It's supposed to be stressful. It's your body trying to keep you alive. Honestly, stress means you're alive. If you don't have stress, you are not living a life worth living. If you don't have stress, you are not living a life worth living. You are a piece of shit. You're average. You're worse than average. You're avoiding the pain of life. This is what life is about, is to experience what we can accomplish, who we can become. That is the center of our beings. If you lived in a life of only darkness and never saw any light, there would be no such thing as light. We have to experience the pain in order to know joy. People who experience the greatest pain and suffering also have the greatest capacity for joy. It's like this. It's honestly, if I were to describe it, it's like if I were to dig a hole, okay? If I were to dig a hole, someone who has a deeper capacity to experience pain, stress, and anxiety has a also deeper capacity to have that gap be filled with joy and happiness. That is the accumulation, the natural balance of stress. So everyone's always trying to, solve their stress by making their life less stressful. Everyone thinks of solving stress as make my life softer, more cushy, and all these psychologists, all these therapists tell, "Oh, relax, pillow everything," right? So all these moms out there who just want to make everything pillow, right? They're so worried about their kids falling and scraping his knee. Every mom who's just worried about their kid falling, scraping his knee, getting cuts and boo-boos, let them. Let your boys get the cuts and scrapes. Let them develop scars. Let them go through this life and become a man. Stop trying to make everything so soft. All these therapists, all these psychologists are trying to make everything so soft. Oh, you need meditation. You need all this therapy. You know what you need? You need to toughen up. You need to toughen up. And I don't care what anyone says. We need to start telling people that. All these little soy boys out there talking about, their feelings hurt. It's time we bring that back. You need to toughen your ass up. Right? And maybe we bring back the belt, maybe we bring back the wood spoon in schools. I don't know what it is, but at the very least, what I do know is this world, we need to toughen up. We need to raise tough people. I mean, obviously the idea is that, tough times don't last, tough people do. Well, you know why? Because you're meant to endure. You were built as the ultimate endurance machine as a human being. You are eternal. You can overcome all things. That's what I talk about when people don't have confidence. They don't believe in themselves. They have no idea how powerful they are. You're telling me you're sad because your boyfriend broke up with you? You can't get over all this bullshit and these tears, and you can barely go to work? Why? Why? Because life's hard? No shit. But you have no idea who you are. You have no idea how strong you are, how small these things were. And if I could get a hold of somebody and teach them who they really are, this idea of stress and anxiety and depression would go away. It would go away because we would look at it as a challenge, as something that will allow us to grow. When you want to develop as a human being, when you want to develop with your muscles, if you want to grow your muscle, if you want to just become tougher, you have to endure pain. It is an essential part of increased testosterone, of increased growth. You must endure pain. So if you are able to endure pain, endure the darkness and endure the chaos, you obtain more light. The more stress you carry, the greater the being you are. Honestly, let's think about this. The greatest people to ever walk this planet carried the most stress. You think you're stressed now because you can't pay your bills? Guess what happens when you become a business owner and you need to worry about paying 10 people's bills? Guess what happens when you're the president of the United States and if you make a mistake, your stress is now, does my country make it, right? How much does my decisions affect millions of people, not just a couple? And that is stress. And only the greatest can handle that kind of stress. And so the higher you go, if you want to succeed in life, to ascend to higher levels, you must endure more stress. And the amount of chaos that you can endure, honestly, if I were to break this down, it would come down to one simple principle. How much chaos can you endure in your life? That is the measure of a man. That is the measure of a leader. How much chaos can you endure? Because there's one thing about anxiety, stress, depression, all these things that we feel in our life. It feels like chaos. And what you need is you need to create order in the chaos. If you have the power to create order in the chaos, then you have the power to overcome any stress, any anxiety, any depression. It doesn't matter. The greatest example I think I could ever point somebody to is a man named Viktor Frankl. Okay? Viktor Frankl is one of the best honestly, examples for us all. He is one of the best examples for us as what kind of power he holds. Viktor Frankl was a man who was a Jew in concentration camps in Nazi Germany during World War II. They endured some of the most heinous things you could ever imagine. And what he taught that he is the master of his fate. He is the master of his thoughts, his mind, his actions, that no matter what happens, no matter what kind of suffering and pain he endures, that he was always in control. And when you have control, you have order. And when you have order, you have achieved a level of order in the chaos and you have overcome stress, fear, anxiety, depression, anything that would be a negative towards you and to tear you down, right? So again, this idea of what is stress? Stress is good. It means you're alive. It means you're growing. And it is up to you to choose to use this stress to propel you forward. That's the power of stress. So anyone who wants to talk about, oh, I'm stressed, good. You're stressed? Good. That means you're doing something of value. That means you're becoming something of value. You're telling me you're stressed? Good. It means you're getting stronger. It means you have an opportunity to ascend to a higher level because of that stress. So don't you dare turn away from it. You turn and look it straight in the eye and you attack it head on and you watch who you become if you do that.